Bless the Lord, bless the Lord, bless the Lord. It is a good day to give thanks unto the Lord, for his mercies endure it forever. I want to talk to you on the topic of tithing today. Now, I know it's not one of the most popular or most well beloved topic in the church, but you ought to know why you need to tithe, right? And I'm going to read from Malachi 3, verses 10, and it says, "Bring ye all the tithe in the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it." This is what God is saying to us. If we give unto him, he's going to return it a hundredfold. Now, a lot of you may be confused. How do I give to God? I cannot see God. So why do pastors keep pressuring me to give when I come to church? I don't like to be told what to do. So here's what you do. The reason why God desires for us to give or tent into the house of God, and as the Bible suggests, so that there will be meat in the house. Now, meat there represent food. So in those days, of course, the priests, they used to be kept and provided for. Now we have, our ministers are working. Nevertheless, we still provide in the house of God. Now, the reason why you provide is because there are different things in the house of God that have needs. For example, light needs to be paid, water needs to be paid, and there are other expenses that needs to be paid. But you may say to me, okay, so why don't we just have a little fun, and every time we get the light bill or the water bill, we put something towards that, so that the bills can be paid, and then I keep my money in my pocket. Fair enough, you have a point, but listen to this now. The Bible tells us that we should continually give. Because remember, when the pastor preaches, he is like he's using the mouth of God to speak to us. He's speaking from the heart of God to our heart. So when you give into the house of God, you are strengthening his soul so that he can strengthen yours. You are strengthening his soul by providing financially in the house of God so that he can be provided for. So when you give, don't just give as if you are giving to pastor. And a lot of people will get offended because they're saying, oh, pastor have more than what I have, and pastor's driving this, and pastor dressed this way, and I don't have nothing. Do not give as if you're giving to the pastor personally. Give it as if you're giving to God. And how do you do that? You give with the expectation that you're receiving something for your soul. So that's why you can give of your best. See, a lot of ministers don't really explain it this way. And so when people go to church, they feel like they're being told what to do with their money, and they need to know why. Why do you want my money? Why should I give you my hard-earned money? So we need to break it down and help you to understand that the reason why you give is because you are giving for the provision, so that there will be a church, so that bills can be continually paid, so that the pastor can be nourished in whatever way he chooses to do with that money, because of course he's going to be paid from your tithes and from your offerings, so he can be nourished, because then the Bible said we should muzzle the ox that tread the corn. So if he is pouring out into us, we need to pour out into him also, and we do so by providing our substance through financial blessings so that he can be paid to refresh his soul, to survive, to live, to take care of his family, so that he can come back to give us something from God. Now, you may say to me, I don't belong to a church, so where would I tithe? I would then say to you, where is your source? Where do you get your spiritual food from? Do you watch church from the internet? Do you have a specific church? No, I go all over the place. I listen this one, I listen that one, I listen that one. Perfectly fine. You can listen whoever you want to. But the Bible also tells us that we should not forsake the assemblies of believers. So it's good that you watch, from the internet, and you're encouraging your soul, because I mean, of course, I'm doing this video and I would love to know that someone is watching it and being blessed from it. But also, you should try to go somewhere where you can literally feel the presence of God from the worship that's radiating in the atmosphere, and also to fellowship with the people of God, because the Bible did tell us that we should not forsake fellowshipping. So if you can, you should fellowship. Then my next suggestion would be, wherever you find that you get your strength, that is where you need to tithe. Wherever you find that you get your spiritual source, that is where you need to throw your tithes and offering. It would be unfair to live in one country and tithe in the other, because you say to yourself, or if you go to church in one country and tithe in the other. So you're saying, oh, I was baptized in that church, and I'm just living here and working here, but I'm going to pay my tithes back home. If you are going to church in this country, then you need to tithe where you're being fed. You understand? So wherever you're being fed spiritually, that's where you would need to give your substance so that you can be restored again. A lot of ministers would not agree with this, because they said, oh, you're a member of my church, even though you have not been to my church in 3 years, you still need to send your tithe. That's unfair to the person whose ministry you're sitting under, because that person is pouring into you and they're not receiving your financial substance, and you're there and they're there enjoying the light and the water and all the resources of the church. So you need to give your offering into that ministry. So today, as I said before, you give your tithe and your offering for the meat to be continually in the house of God, and meat represents food or any resource or substance that's needed to sustain the church. So I hope that you can look within yourself. If you were never tithing, even if you're Christian or not Christian, you need to tithe. You need to give something into a ministry that you're being fed from, that you're growing from. Never work your full salary and spend it out on yourself. Take something towards the house of God. Give something towards a ministry. Give something towards the work of God going on. Give something to somebody who's encouraging your soul, so that the work of God will continue in this earth until the Lord comes back for his world. God bless you, and I hope you understand a little bit more about why you need to tithe. God bless you.